I think competition's a good thing. You know, I've got 11 brothers and sisters. I learned about competition early on.
When we were kids, we always regretted having a big family, but look back on it now, I don't regret it.
So we're just a normal family, as normal as you can be with 12 people.
The big family is an essential element of Republican House Minority Leader John Boehner's biography.
I've got 11 brothers and sisters. My dad owned a bar.
If Republicans win a majority in the U.S. House of Representatives next month, Mr. Boehner will likely replace Nancy Pelosi as Speaker of the House. We traveled to his hometown to get a sense of how growing up here in Reading, Ohio, may have shaped him. The 12 Boehner siblings were raised in this house just north of Cincinnati. While Mr. Boehner has said that Democrats have snuffed out the America he grew up in, his hometown feels almost frozen in time, both in its traditions and the way it looks.
All these houses, nothing has changed here.
John Widmeyer was a classmate and friend. He remembers days and nights filled with high school football and hard work. There was one Saturday where Mr. Boehner looked exceptionally tired, and it wasn't just from Friday night's game.
I said, well, did you get a good night's sleep? And he says, well, not exactly. I had to go down to the bar and bring beer up from the basement at, I don't know, like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
The family ran Andy's, a neighborhood bar. Mr. Boehner's sister, Linda, still works there.
When we came up from the hospital, we all came to Andy's before we went home for the first time.
Another important influence was the Catholic Church.
This is where both of us got married at St. Peter and Paul.
Jerry Vanden Eyden is also a friend and former football teammate. Even though they graduated high school just a year before Woodstock, the social upheavals of the 1960s didn't seem to resonate.
I think we went to church probably every day there for a while. You know, you'd start your day off with Mass. There just weren't as many issues then. There weren't gays. You didn't know anything about gays. You didn't know anything about abortion. You didn't know anything about a lot of the social issues they got today.
You know, the principles I grew up with are the principles of the Republican Party, even though I grew up as a Democrat.
Our parents were probably all Democrats and supported the heck out of Kennedy because he was Catholic.
Growing up, we were probably Kennedy Catholics.
Bob Boehner is John's older brother. His story of becoming a Republican is common here.
But the first time you got a real job and you get your paycheck and you look down and you wonder, where's the rest of your money? And they explain to you that that's the tax you got to pay the government. You start thinking more and more about becoming a Republican.
Leader Boehner declined an on-camera interview with the Times, but he did speak to us for the story. He remembers a slightly different moment of political transformation.
You know, Ronald Reagan's the guy that I listened to and watched and decided that I think I'm with him. And so I guess you could call me a Reagan Republican.
Even through high school, there was no interest in politics from what I saw.
Mr. Boehner didn't become politically active until later. He joined his homeowners association almost on a lark when he moved to the more affluent suburbs farther north. His golf game improved, and he rose quickly in politics.
Then when we came to Congress, I was just like, wow, you know, check you out.
Mr. Boehner suggests that his experience with a large family and tending a bar will make him a good manager should he become Speaker. Mr. Vanden Eyden remembers another possible influence, perhaps on the combative and partisan side that Mr. Boehner has occasionally shown. It's their high school football coach, Jerry Faust.
Just recently, as John's gotten more vocal in his speeches and all wound up and turns red and all this other stuff, that I can close my eyes and hear Faust giving that speech.
Can you say it was done openly? With transparency and accountability? Without backroom deals and struck behind closed doors? Hidden from the people? Hell no, you can't!
6 months ago, Mr. Boehner was unknown in even large swaths of his own state. But he's become a national figure during the midterm election. Democrats think that by making him the face of the Republican Party, it will rebound to their benefit.
Mr. Boehner has so far said no.
For all his years as the ultimate Washington insider, Mr. Boehner still resonates among many constituents as the guy from down the street.
I've had every rotten job there was in America, but thankful that I had each of those jobs. I walk through airports, I go to restaurants, I stand out on a corner. People have plenty of access to me.
If he becomes Speaker of the House, this man from Moeller High School would be second in the presidential line of succession.
We'll get to next year, but I'm going to get to next year. Yes, sir.